When you have #1 beside your name, you have a target on your back. And this top-ranked team in the land is going on the road against a squad that can make its season if it can pull off a major upset. The Dome, home to the Orange in Syracuse University. As we'll see a squad from the ACC, a team ready to put on a show. Taking on a team that ranks in the top 5 in this conference, the Syracuse Orange. Glad to have you with us for EA Sports College Football. I'm Reese Davis, David Pollack and Jesse Palmer with me in the booth. Guys, we're ready to tee it up. Kicker has everything lined up and about set to get this one underway. Coming out with it, it's Crawford. The coverage team maintains his discipline, not much doing on that return.
All right, boys, we're hitting hard today.
Syracuse's offense will go on the attack first. And they are coming off a sensational performance led by this quarterback. He's hoping he can build on things, Jesse.
Well, I know, having played the position, when you have a big game, you just can't wait to get back out there again and build on that performance. David, last time out, he was making the right reads. He showed off his arm talent. He had this offense moving up and down the field and finding the end zone. And you know he's excited to take on this defense today.
Yeah, and talking to the defensive coordinators coming in this football game, like, they're not going to do what happened last week. Like, you can't sit back and make the coverages easy for him to diagnose. He'll pick you apart like he did last week. Look for some change-ups and some curveballs for this defense.
Dropping back, it's Hebert. Got his man downfield. Still running at the 40. Got a lot of room to the right. The 20. Touchdown, Syracuse. Once he got a step, it was all over, right to the house. Getting ready for the extra point after the first score of the game. And the extra point makes it 7-0.
Quarterback's abilities to read the field is huge. And also the anticipation, the timing. To be able to throw the football, Jesse, and hit a guy in stride so he can get run after the catch and get in the end zone, that was a nice job by the quarterback.
Yeah, it's critical, David. Listen, a lot of times, touchdown passes aren't thrown into the end zone. You've got to read the coverage, hit the open guy, and let him do the rest.
When these two guys are in sync the way they were a week ago, just a nightmare. It's a performance they hope they can repeat this week, Jesse.
And I think a big key in that last game was they linked up a couple times early, had some big plays. And then after that, David, it didn't seem like the quarterback was looking anywhere else. They're going to try and establish that connection and that rhythm early in this one.
And defensively, where is the big fella? Like, I got to identify where he is every single snap and give him some extra attention. So if I route him at the line of scrimmage and be physical, have that safety help over the top, I'm not letting him beat me.
As you watch how a season unfolds and you get off to a good start like these guys have in ACC play, that momentum can really be powerful.
Oh, 100%. The momentum, the confidence. Like, you go from starting the season and saying, we want to be great in these areas, and now you're starting to see it, starting to pile up some conference wins. Now, Jesse, getting to the middle of the season, and you got to continue to evolve, right, and be ready for some of these rivalries.
No doubt about it. And I think they also like the fact that they've got some guys stepping up and making plays consistently. It's one thing to do it off in non-conference play against weaker competition early in the year, but now that you're into the meat of your ACC schedule, they've got guys on both sides of the ball that they can count on week in, week out.
Wants to go up top on first down. And the defense making a play, getting a hand on that pass.
This defensive coaching staff, they love their secondary, and they love the matchups they have. They believe they've got 5 guys at least back there that can cover one-on-one. You saw a great example of it there on third.
Turning it on. They get him corralled, but not until he's in the red zone. They'll mark it at the 14. This tight end just creates matchup problems no matter how you try to defend him.
How about the catch radius on him, too? So as a quarterback, you don't have to be perfect when throwing it to him. You just got to get it somewhere in his vicinity, and he can come up with the catch.
Wrestled down at the 8-yard line as they threaten deep in the red zone.
And after a successful run like that on first down, if you're the offensive coordinator here, maybe you're thinking about being aggressive and potentially taking a shot.
And it's a touchdown, puts 6 on the board.
What a luxury for an offense to have. The ability to set the tone on the ground, giving that guy the football time after time, making offense easy, being physical, and really setting the tone for this football game.
The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. And here's the return. Not a whole lot of room to operate on that return as the coverage unit was there and ready. The Orange have the ball back and ready to go to work. Last drive went for 6. We'll see if they can do it again. Handoff from the gun. Breaks the tackle. Didn't get much done on that run. He'll fight his way out and maybe pick up a yard. Didn't get much done on that first play of the drive. It's 2nd and 11. Looking to throw, it's Bear. Gets it to him on the screen. And it's pretty obvious there was a big hole in that screen, and the defense ran right through it. Syracuse with a major problem and a long way to go on 3rd down. From the gun, running back on the move. He cannot get there. It'll be 4th down. They bring the punter onto the field now. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Gets off his first one of the day. He was called on 5 times in the victory last week. That nifty return sets up the offense and negates some of the yardage on the punt. Here comes the offense onto the field again. They'll come out on this drive and let it rip. Looking to the big tight end. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. Gets out of bounds after the big game, but they've got it 1st and goal.
Yeah, and the quarterback knew exactly where he wanted to go with the football, had time, spins the ball deep. Nice job by this offense, understanding what the defense is giving them and creating the explosive play.
And it just squirted through his hands. He wanted to take off and got too
Just do what?
A lot of times when you go back and you revisit these games, who takes advantage of these opportunities in the red zone, in these goal-to-go situations? Bad job on 1st down by this offense.
And it's caught for the touchdown. A methodical drive that they finish off by tossing it to the tight end.
And the tight end, I'll tell you what, this is a position that's evolved so much, right? And you see him move all over the field. It's kind of like, where is Waldo? You got to find this big fella, especially down in the red zone area. This is the guy they're going to target, then make the big play, get the touchdown.
On the run from inside his own 5. Excellent job by the kick coverage team. A pretty minimal gain on that return. The Syracuse offense heads back onto the field. They really didn't move the ball at all the last time they had it, hoping for better fortune this time around. Rides to back and leaves it. He gets it all the way out to the 19-yard line, a pickup of 6.
Coaches always harp about staying ahead of the chains, and when you can run with that type of efficiency on 1st down, man, you are doing just that.
They'll go right back to the run. He fought him off for a while, but that's what they mean by gang tackling.
I think one of the biggest keys in stopping these big physical running backs is you can never let them get momentum running downhill, and I think that was a big factor on that play. They didn't get him right away. He was able to break it.
And that defense gets to him, and down he goes at the 9. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. The Orange will have to punt. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. Returns like that are why you don't settle for the fair catch if you don't have to. Picks up just a little bit of yards to help out the Oaks. And as for better starting field position for this offense. Starts a drive trying to go up top. Throws to the wideout. Just too much juice on that one as he airmails his receiver out of bounds. As they get set to snap it, just about to reach the end of the quarter. The running back has it. Can't get him to the ground. And after the stop, that is going to put a bow on this first quarter. We're through 1, and what a back and forth battle between these two quarterbacks as we look at the stats. This offense had a little extra time to think about it. Let's see what they have on third down. To the ground to try to move the chains. Offense has gained momentum with third down conversions like that. They've got it at the 25.
And that's got to feel good if you're the offense, because third down has been a bit of a problem all season long, but you love the way they're executing at this point, finding ways to keep the chains moving.
Going to try to pop one on the screen. The ball is down at the 14 after that grab.
Great job, too, by the QB there, holding the ball as long as possible, allowing the pass rush to get upfield, and at the very last second, getting it to his guy so that he can go get the first down.
Fires into the end zone. And it's in there for a touchdown.
Really nice job working the route and getting himself open. He was able to locate the football, snag it out of the air, and this guy now has 5 receiving touchdowns on the year.
And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Two teams inside the Big 12 squaring off today, and it's now a final. Here's a quick recap. NC State delivered the knockout blow early in this one, en route to the type of win that can turn some heads there in the ACC. Trust me when I say the party is on in Raleigh. Just another week in the Big 12 where anything can happen on any given Saturday. As we send things back to you guys.
Kevin, thanks a lot for that one. Sounds as if they had a good one there. Looking for room at the 25. He goes out of bounds just short of the 30 at the 29-yard line, and when you're backed up, execution like that at a premium. It'll be a 1st and 10 from the 29. Looking for a man. It's Abear. And that pass incomplete. The defense got a hand on it.
Bad news on that play, it's an incompletion. The good news is the quarterback knew if his guy wasn't going to catch it, nobody was with that ball landing out of bounds.
Misfired on the last play. They'll go back to the air. Finds his tight end. Tackled almost immediately. They're well short of the first down. Syracuse needs to come up with a big third down play to keep the drive going. From the gun, wants to pass. He'll off one deep down the left side. And they can't hook up on the big play, and that brings up a 4th down. Syracuse will be forced to punt. And you make the stop, and that is exactly what you want out of your punt cover unit. And the offense takes the field ready to go back to work. This has been exactly the way you draw things up, David. The offense has really been moving the football.
And it's been great execution. They've done exactly what they've wanted to do. Build the lead. Now Palmer's a different animal. Now you got to protect them.
You can tell they were paying attention in practice this week in the film room, because they have gone out, everybody right now on the same page.
A 1st and 10 for this offense. Motion from the wideout. Out of the gun, the running back has it.
You know, as a defense, you kind of want to force the give on the RPO. You want them to run the football, and you can tell maybe the quarterback wishes he pulled this. Small gain, but some information you gathered maybe for the next time you get to run an RPO.
2nd down, they'll go to the air. He'll try to do it himself. This junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain.
Welcome to the frustrating reality of college football. Like, the guy at the quarterback spot, he can just do that. Pull it down, get positive yards, makes the defense have to account for him every single play.
And this has got to be so demoralizing for this defense right now. Having given up multiple 1st downs on this drive, somebody on defense has to step up, make a play, and stop the bleeding.
Hauls it in. All down, but he has enough to move the chains.
Everything seems to be working for this offense right now. And if they keep this up, this could get ugly by the 4th quarter.
Fires to the wideout. Wide open downfield. They finally get him on the ground, but he's got an explosive play for the first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. From the red zone, looking for a space. Got his man on the right. They'll mark him down at the 2. The excellent execution on that throw and catch. That was a nice pickup, running the drag route and finding that quiet, soft spot in the zone.
Yeah, drag route's not only working.
Beck's going for the goal line. Gets it in there for the touchdown.
Step back.
His defense is going to have to do a better job being physical. That's 2 rushing touchdowns they've now allowed. They have got to be better close to the line of scrimmage.
And they knock through the extra point, and they're up 28-7. They march 72 yards. Kickoff unit back to work, and they have been busy as they've built this sizable lead. And he'll return it and try to get behind his block. And good work by the coverage team to get the return man down on the ground. The Orange have the ball back and ready to go to work. These guys have taken some body blows in the first half, but now a chance to do something to feel a little better going into halftime.
Reese, they got to respond now. They got to put points on the board right here, cut into this deficit, create a little bit of momentum, because this one's going to get out of hand otherwise.
Yeah, there are a lot of offenses out there that might just say, okay, let's just regroup and figure it out. This offense doesn't have time to do that. They've got to be aggressive. They've got to throw it downfield. They've got to score.
Picking up 87. Picking up 87.
Second down, they'll go to the air. He's got his man. A little more space. Open up that playbook even more as they pick up the first down out to the 30. Looking downfield on first down. Fires to the middle. A strike downfield. And he was loose and not stopped until he gets to the 47-yard line. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. Pressure coming. Syracuse right back at it. They'll go to work in the air on second down. Oh, he's going to try to hit him over the top. Makes the grab on the left side. Oh, he's got some space. Lowers those pads. And the catch and run into the end zone. Touchdown, Orange.
We needed that. They needed to punch the ball in the end zone. They needed to cut this to a 2-score game, and they needed some positive momentum. Something going well, something to point to at half to say, guys, we got a chance. That drive, they put it together. Nice job by this offense.
Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. And the offense back on the field, ready to dial up ball plays. They've got some time to work with here, Jesse, and if they get a first down, they might really get aggressive.
I'd be aggressive right out of the gate. I'd be throwing for a first down. If I get it, then it's pedal to the metal. I'm in that 2-minute mode and try to score a touchdown and get a field.
But I do think this is a situation where you also have to understand that I have the lead going into the half. I've got the momentum, so don't do anything stupid here.
Unloads to the wideout. He's got him wide open. Into enemy territory and out of bounds at the 48.
Who needs a 2-minute offense when you're this explosive? This offense creates the big play, completely flips the field position right away, now in a position to go ahead and score points before the half.
On the run, fires downfield. He's got an open man. Inside the 25, stopped at the 24. Clock will stop to move the chains. The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half. Looking to throw on first down. It's complete to the left. They stop him just short of the first down, but it will be 2nd and inches coming up. Looking downfield, and time is running short. Catch in the middle, it's Powell. They get him stopped at the 5-yard line, but it will be 1st and goal from there. The offense uses a timeout to stop the clock, and they'll get a quick breather. Got out of trouble and throws. He's got it, and he goes into the end touchdown. No midseason doldrums for these guys as they push out the lead in week 6. He'll try to tack on one more. The kick is up and good and put one more on the lead. So that scoring drive took only 6 plays. And the score comes on a 5-yard touchdown pass. He'll start the return inside his 5. And the returner will be brought down. Waning seconds of the first half. Let's see just how aggressive they'll be. The give to the back. And he is swarmed under a host of defenders there to make the stop. First half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Thanks, guys. Tough to beat a good first half of football in a great town like Syracuse. And this has just been a passing clinic, really, by both offenses. They've effectively stretched these defenses, forcing the secondaries to cover every blade of grass, and they've still racked up big plays. Man or zone, pick your poison, or lay some blame at the feet of those pass rushers who can't do anything against the maulers on that offensive line.
Bunch formation for these receivers. To the air on first down. Makes the grab. It's Powell. Finally corralled, but not before. He picks up the first down.
Well, he was putting up big numbers coming into this one. We knew the quarterback was going to go his way early and often. And with that last catch, he's now got over 500 yards receiving on the year.
After that big gainer to open things up, they'll put it in play from the 40. We'll give him a couple on that one. 2nd and 8 coming up.
The big fella in the middle, man. Those defensive tackles, they go such a long way in deciding and really stopping the other team's run game. Just forcing contact with those guards and those centers, owning the line of scrimmage, and getting running backs on the ground.
To be honest, I think the quarterback was a little bit surprised himself at the play call that came in that time. You've got a 3-possession lead here in the 3rd quarter of this game. You're probably expecting some short throws, some runs. And this play caller is still asking for shot plays. And listen, you're the quarterback. You're happy to oblige when you've got the playmakers you have offensively. Just keep chucking them.
Sets up the screen. And that did not work. Defense smelled that one out from the beginning. And here comes the offense on 2nd down. Looking to fire. How about that sweet footwork along the sideline? It is a catch.
Listen, running backs are not just running backs anymore. You're going to be a wide receiver in today's football. And a great job sneaking out of the backfield, getting him the football, letting them get some positive yards.
Oh, it's picked off. Oh, that's not the way to start a drive. Finally brought down the runner play, not only to get the football, but to flip the field position with the return. The Syracuse offense heads back onto the field. That's caught. It's Bolden. They stop him just a link or two short of the first, and man, what they can do on 2nd down here. Less than a yard to go to pick up the first down. Quarterback on the keeper. Big time play by the defense. He'll lose 4.
This has got to be disappointing if you're the offense, guys. You were expecting to have a lot of success running the ball, especially against this defense, which has struggled so much.
Lofts one high indeed. Snags it inside the 20. He's showing it all. The juice, the jets, the moves, and he's got it down to the 16-yard line. Syracuse ready to go to work with another first down. They'll send the back in motion. The defense wouldn't let him loose there, and it was a completion, but they lost yardage.
You know, as a quarterback, you believe in your matchup. And my running back, if I can get him the ball in space, he's going to win a lot of times. He did in that time. The defense was ready. Nice job in the open field making the nice tackle.
He's brought down, but there's a flag on the field. Let's see what the call is.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
A very productive play until it was wiped out by that penalty, and they'll go back to work. 2nd down coming up. Back to pass. Trying to make magic on the scramble. He's going to be able to pick up a few yards before the slide.
Hey, it's a heads-up play right there. Listen, you're trying to scramble. You're trying to make something happen. Nobody's open. You're not going to be able to get out of bounds. Just protect yourself. Get down on the ground. Get what you can get and live to play another day.
Caught in the backfield. It's Everett. Gets it inside the 5, down to the 4, and it'll be 1st and goal. Syracuse has a really nice drive going. They'll keep it on the ground for 1st and goal. Touchdown, cuse. How about this back staying on track and getting it in on the option? Sometimes we ask coaches about halftime adjustments, and they go blah, 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 blah. I mean, sometimes they make some good ones.
Sometimes that blah, 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 blah actually works, but it's working now. But it might be too little too late, but at least you got the party started.
Here he comes from inside his own 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. Here comes the offense back onto the field. Boy, they had that last drive moving a little bit, David, but then the mistake just crushed them.
Yeah, those mistakes are going to happen. You're going to throw the football, you're going to throw interceptions, but I think I stay aggressive with this offense. I get back to what I did in the first part of that drive, what made me successful.
I agree, David. Just turn the page if you're a quarterback, right? On this drive, you did a lot of good things there leading up to that pick. Forget about it, move on, play the next play.
It'll be 1st and 10 from the 30. Sweet cut there. They make the stop, but there is a flag on the field. We'll see what that's all about.
Illegal blocking the back. Offense.
A solid gain on that one, and it goes for naught as the penalty will back them up. Offense getting set for 1st down. Leaves it with the running back. Just sort of a relentless run, getting everything that was available to him, and they'll mark him down at the 40.
You love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
Trying play action. Throws to the wideout. And it's incomplete. The defense knocks it away as we have knocked down 3 quarters and head to the 4th. And you want to talk about his favorite receiver, it might be everybody based on the number of guys getting touches and a chance to show off their hands in the passing game. 1 more quarter to play, and it might be unlikely, but hey, it's college football. Comebacks happen. After swapping into the field, they gave him a little time to figure out how they'll open the final period here on 3rd down. He lost it high and deep down the left side. And that'll be incomplete. They certainly weren't afraid to take a shot there, and now it's 4th down.
Oftentimes as a quarterback, when you have success early, you earn the right to take more shots. I think that's what you're seeing now in this game. We're here late. They're still throwing it deep because this quarterback's thrown 3 touchdown passes. He's proven to his coach that he can get it done and he can make the right decisions and not put his offense in harm's way. And that
this will be picked off. Maybe just the turning point they needed. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick.
Definitely trying to be a little bit conservative. I can't be cautious, but I want to be a little bit conservative. Up 2 possessions. The clock is my friend. I got the football. The worst thing I can do is throw an interception, turn the football over, stop the clock, give them the ball back in an opportunity like this.
That's one the offense just needs to be able to hit, right? That's a completion they should be able to hit in their sleep. Receivers got to do a better job.
Back to pass on 2nd down. Oh, they're after him. And the defense jumps on it, and they get that turnover.
Well, you got to know as a quarterback, when you're in an empty set, which means you have no running backs in the backfield with you, you got to be able to get rid of the football. And you're expecting pressure. The clock's going to go off in your head. Not a good job of keeping 2 hands on the football, and the defense able to knock it loose.
Stop behind the line. He'll lose a yard. Didn't get much done on that first play of the drive. It's 2nd and 11. Wants to go up top. That's caught. It's Powell. And he's knocked down, but there's also a flag that's been dropped. Let's check on the call.
Holding. Offense.
A very productive play until it was wiped out by that penalty, and they'll go back to work. And now on second down for this offense. Looking to fire. And it'll be incomplete. This is some physical pass defense.
Non-man receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football. He was going to put a hit.
Wide open. He makes the catch. And this defense was flailing as he weaved his way and got down to the 26.
Well, it really just feels like they are trying to make a statement to everybody in college football. They've got a lead, they've got it late, and they are still putting it on this defense. They are still letting it fly. They're airing it out, trying to let it.
There he goes. He goes out of bounds right at the 10-yard line, and the offense can smell the touchdown from here.
And how about this quarterback, man? He's showing you a little bit of everything. He's had a great day throwing the football, spinning it around, scoring touchdowns, and now shows you he can pick them up and put them down.
And he's into the end zone for a touchdown. With that, they are closing in on bowl eligibility, but with this big lead and a 6-0 start, much bigger dreams for this squad.
Salt into wound, right? Late in the fourth quarter, you can run the football, run this game out. No, sir. I'm going to continue to pad my stats, find my receiver out wide, and get me another touchdown.
What kind of field position can he help them with on the return? He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. The Orange have the ball back and ready to go to work. After that last drive, he came back to the sideline, and the coach probably said, "You dropped it? You didn't pick it up? Come on, get on the ball, David."
No, that's not what he said. He said, "You're doing a great job. Just keep your head up." Yeah, he got blasted. You got to hold on to the football, Palmer. Turnovers decide games. Those are big plays.
It's tough on him, too, because he knows he let his offense down on that last drive. So you know that guy's eager and anxious to come out here and make a play.
He'll get a fresh set of downs stopped at the 31-yard line.
It's got to feel good as an offense knowing that early in the drive you can turn around, hand it off, get a push up front, and go get positive yardage.
With the catch, it's Everett. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground to cover to pick up the first.
And this defense is perfectly fine with that. When you're up a couple possessions, you want everything in front of you. You want that clock to tick, make sound tackles, and don't give up big plays.
The Orange now facing a 3rd and short. From the gun, wants to pass. Unloads it left. Got him, and nobody's close. Offense on the move. A big play there. Gets it to the 30. Syracuse right back at it.
And this offense has got to kick it in high gear now. Making a big play, that is great, but we got to go up-tempo. We got to go fast. We're trailing big in this ball game. We got to put a lot of drives together and maybe even get lucky with an onside kick.
They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker. Here comes the offense on 2nd down. Running back searching for a hole. Stop is made almost immediately. Give him 1 to the 23. Syracuse lines up on 3rd and short. They'll try to get the first through the air. Forced out of the pocket. The defense sort of herds this quarterback out of bounds short of the line of scrimmage for a loss.
Really, really good pursuit by the defense. It's tough. Once you roll outside the pocket, you kind of cut the field in half, and he's getting pursued by everybody. Nowhere to throw the football. Great chasing.
Fires deep toward the end zone. Can't hook up on the long throw, and 4th down goes by the boards for this offense.
Listen, with the aggressiveness of offenses and taking chances, a lot of times it's going to put your defense in a hole. And this defense is going to have to come through in the clutch right here because you're trailing. They can't get more scores. They got to get a stop on this possession, and the offense is going to have to do better than they just did.
Well, look, this quarterback has struggled a little bit in this game with interceptions. Maybe he was being too greedy early on. That time made a real good decision. Now, I'll tell you what, that's a nice catch by the running back because that ball's in the air a long time. You're throwing it all the way out to the flat like that. He looked like a receiver making that catch and getting extra yards.
And the DB making a huge play, knocking it away downfield.
This offense isn't calling the dogs off in this game. We're here late. They're still taking shots, and a big reason why is how good this quarterback has been all game long. 4 touchdown passes. He's reading the defense. He's playing in rhythm. He's throwing on time. He's been accurate, and late in the game, they're still letting him take shots.
We've reached the 2-minute timeout, and the clock is definitely on their side. They'll just try to run it out here. Now on first down from the 43. Use the play fake, now to throw. Slings it downfield. Beautifully thrown ball, terrific catch, and they'll have the first down.
This is so interesting right now watching this offense stay aggressive. They've got the lead in the fourth quarter, and you're thinking at home, we got to just run the ball and try to bleed the clock. They found something on defense they're taking advantage of. 2 straight completions. I won't be surprised if they throw it again.
And how about this offense? They're not worried about the clock. They're not worried about the score. They're not worried about early and down. Still trying to execute their offense. Still trying to make big plays. And they've had a great day so far.
This time it's complete.
And this defense continuing to struggle with the passing game. Listen, these offenses are so sophisticated nowadays. They're hard to stop, man. And it's a new one every single week. And I say this game, this defense underperformed. They're better than what they've shown. They've gotten torched today. And this is a tape that they're going to want to burn and never watch again.
On first down from the 13-yard line. Wants to throw on first down. Fires to the middle. Big fella moving. So close to that end zone. He can almost taste it, but it'll be first and goal for this offense. Defense is backed up. Shadow of the goalpost trying to defend their own end zone. He'll wedge it in there on the quarterback sneak. Scores on the sneak. That score will give them a little more room to operate here in the fourth quarter as they go for their 6th straight win.
And how about this squad, man? Looking good again. Like, I feel like we say this week in and week out, just continuing to remain undefeated. Whatever it takes, offense, defense, special teams, they have been a good unit, and that's why their ranking is so high.
Fielded in the end zone. It's Tuggle. Gets it out to the 20, about 5 yards short of where he'd be if he'd just taken a knee in the end zone. A lot of field in front of them as they open this possession from their own 20. Fires to the tight end. Breaks into the open. Trying to tackle this guy's a business decision as he gets it up to the 29. Syracuse might take a shot here on 2nd and short. From the gun, the running back has it. And he never had a chance, just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
And that's exactly what you want to do as a defense, man. You want to get penetration and not let that tank get downhill. Because when he gets downhill at that weight and that size, it could...
Hauls it in down the sideline. They'll bring him down as he bulks up those numbers, but not the most...